Golf has always been a popular sport, but even more so during the pandemic. Golfers say it's safe, and many health officials agree, which is why there are growing calls on the province to open up the courses. Ontario's COVID-19 Science Advisory Table says even if the province extends the stay-at-home order, it could safely reopen many outdoor recreational facilities. Welcome news to those who love the game, and businesses losing thousands per day.
We need activity to help us physically, mentally, to stay as healthy as possible during a pandemic.
Freelance sports writer and avid golfer Damien Cox has resorted to chipping in his backyard. He's frustrated by the shutdown of golf courses, a much-needed escape for many.
That's the joy of outdoor activities, is getting excited, being passionate, trying to get better, and that's what helps gets us through things like what we're going through, because it takes your mind off COVID. It takes your mind off the things that you can't do, because there are some things that you can do.
Chief Public Health Officer of Canada, Dr. Theresa Tam, agrees being outside in open spaces should be an option soon. But she says those decisions should be made by local public health officials.
The outdoors should be the first stage, or included in that first stage of having people do more. The outdoors is definitely safer than the 3 C's, closed, crowded, close contact environments.
The executive director of Golf Ontario, Mike Kelly, says the sport has grown in popularity over the pandemic because you can still social distance. Kelly adds there are nearly 2 million golfers in the province and over 800 golf courses, all of which aren't being used right now.
We had about 20 million rounds last year, and we were able to keep Ontarians and golfers safe. So we were able to prove it in 2020 and ready to do it again in 21.
Kelly says for much of the province, golfing season started about 3 weeks ago. Since no one's allowed to play, the financial hole keeps growing for businesses.
On average, they're losing about $9,000 a day. Every day, every golf course. And that's a combination of lost revenue from green fees, fixed labor overhead costs. They have to maintain the golf course, even with no golfers on it.
That works out to be upwards of $7 million a day, a loss which will continue for the foreseeable future.
It's not time yet. We are not at the place where we can release the stay-at-home order, but there will be a plan when that time does come, and it will, of course, be released to the public.
A frustrating reality for local officials as well as those who enjoy the sport.
The head of the science table has actively spoken out against them. In other words, it looks like a political decision because the province was under pressure to demonstrate that they were doing something.
Help us get through this. Don't hurt us by holding us back and stopping us from doing activities that help keep us healthy. Help us, and then attack the problems that really need attacking.
The scientific director of Ontario's Science Advisory Table says if physical distancing can't be maintained during an outdoor activity, people should wear masks. He also adds public health officials must address activities linked to sports like carpooling or sharing a locker room, which represent a greater risk of COVID-19 exposure.